Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. So I've just returned from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where Tottenham Hotspur have gone through to the fourth round of the FA Cup, having beaten Morecambe 3-1 today. Goals from Harry Winks, Lucas Moura and Harry Kane. I've got Ricky Norwood with me. I've also got Leo the Lion, former singer with the Streets, to talk about today's game. Ricky, let's start with you. Hello. Welcome back to the show again. Thanks so much for coming on. What did you make of today's game?
Well, thank you for having me on, as always, Chris. Always an honor and a pleasure, my friend. Today, wow. Well, I mean, again, kind of like the same problems in the sense of we make problems for ourselves a little bit. I think it was a crazy old game. I mean, the first half, you know, we had all the possession, all of the play, really, and then they hit us on their first attack from a corner. You know, Doherty didn't really track him. Ndombele didn't really track him. Yeah, and it was a bit tough. I don't think Ndombele or those that started today, you know, really put their best account of themselves forward. You know, it was a bit like Moura. It was a bit like these games where we've seen the second string come in, and some of them just didn't really take their chance, you know. Poor old Dele up front didn't really do much. Ndombele, I mean, honestly, I think that's probably the last nail in the coffin for him today's performance. And I was hoping we didn't have to bring on the big guns, but we did. And you saw the level in quality that they bring to the side, the level of effort, the level of running, skill, poise, power, you know. So I'm sure we'll break it down and get into it. But look, I'm happy that we won. 3-1. You know, everyone will say, oh, yeah, it's just Morecambe. Or as my missus liked to say, Morecambe. That's what she called it today, bruv. She was like, who you playing today? Morecambe. I was like, who is that? I'm like, what part of Africa is Morecambe? I'm like, what's going on here? But yeah. So,
the big question is though, Ricky, did you know we were playing at home today?
Oh, Chris, you got me. Well, you know what, I did actually, because you know what, when I turned up last week or whenever it was, the only game that they were advertising was Morecambe. So I did know that we was at home today. But yeah, just when I thought it had died down, Chris, you just bring it back in. Yeah, just bring it back.
That's it. Leo, both of us know Ricky, and he's such a nice guy. I feel that he has been so nice about talking about that first half performance. That was dreadful, wasn't it?
Well, you know, we love champagne, Ricky. You know, we love him because he's the positive, brings that positive vibe to the situation. But today, listen, you know, we spoke earlier, Chris. We said, okay, we're going to do this talk today. And so I said to myself, okay, the game's about to kick off in 20 minutes. I didn't even know we were kicking off at 2. So I thought, you know, let me quickly go down to Marks and Spencer's because I need to buy a little cake or something, right, for my little boy. So I thought, you know what, should I go? I'm going to miss the first half. But we're playing Morecambe. So really and truly, we should be like 2-0 up by the time I come back. And I thought to myself, you know, but it's Spurs. No, I need to stay. So I stayed. I stayed. And I watched the first 10 minutes. And we started off, you know, we started kind of positive. We were attacking them. And then after 10 minutes, I was like, but nothing is happening. He's just playing in front of the defense. And I thought, oh, yes, this is Spurs. This is what I'm used to. It was absolutely dreadful, shocking. Like the performance, it's like we were trying for nothing. You know, passing in front of Morecambe defense, not going anywhere. Like the players, listen, you know, when I said to you the other week about how games like this is supposed to be where players have the opportunity to show whether they're going to be involved in the team moving forward, right? Especially during the January window. This was an opportunity for these guys to step up and show not only the fans, but Conte that they were going to be part of his team. And they didn't even do that. It was shocking. Like, honestly, Rondon, is it Rondon? He looked like...
Rodon, yeah.
Well, I'm calling him Rondon, right? So he looked like he was the B team for Morecambe. That's what he looked like. He looked like he wouldn't even get into the Morecambe team. That's how shocking he was. I was thinking, who is this guy? He looked nervous. He looked stressed. He just looked out of depth. And this is Morecambe we're playing, you know? And then Sessignon or Sessin none. Literally, he did like he gets to good positions, his final balls are dead. It was shocking. I didn't even know Doherty was playing him. Like, listen, like I said to you before, I'm happy. I'm happy we played crap today. I'm really happy we played crap. Because if we played good, I don't think people would be that powerful or want to make transfers this window. So I'm glad we played rubbish. I'm glad we've exposed ourselves for everyone to see. It was a shocking first half, shocking game, to be honest.
Well, I think that's probably one of the positives, really, Leo, is that it shows the club that a lot of these players have got to go. Do you know what I mean? And every time they've been given an opportunity, there's a lot of them that haven't taken it, you know? So those that are on...
And it's happened so many times, Ricky. It's happened so many
times. So many times, bro.
So many times. Like, I don't even know, like, you know, sometimes I rack my brain. I'm saying, this is your job. This is what you do, right? Like, you're not even playing a Premiership team. You're playing... we're Morecambe anyway. They're Championship. I didn't even know. They're not
League One.
League One. They're not in the Premiership, right?
They're in the relegation zone in League One.
Look at this, right? So you have an opportunity now to showcase what you can do, right? So I don't want to hear no excuse about, this is what happens when you don't play regular or you're not playing in the first team regular. No, football is football. You know how to pass 5 yards. You know how to track back. You know how to tackle. You know how to header the ball. You know how to... these are basic things, and we couldn't even do that. It was shocking. Like, honestly, the only player that I thought in the first half that was that really looked like he wanted to play football was Gil. Gil looked like he wanted. He looked hungry. He looked like he cared. You know, Winks had a good game. I'll give Winks that because he always looks like he cares. Whether it comes off or not, you could tell that he's passionate about the club. He wants to play for the club. Let alone people like Ndombele. I don't even want to talk about that guy. Delhi. He needs to go and do social TikTok. He needs to go on Love Island ASAP because I'm happy to manage him if he wants to. He should go on Love Island or Strictly Come Dancing because he would work harder doing that than what he does on the pitch. It's shocking, Chris. I didn't even know what you wanted to tell me. What you want me to say? I'm a positive guy, really. I'm a really positive guy. But since I've started doing this, I feel like I'm just a moany bastard. I do. It's like, this is not me.
This is what Tottenham does to you, man. That's what Tottenham does to you.
You know,
I thought tonight would be interesting. Ricky's super positive and Leo, you know, being quite honest and frank about things.
I felt like I had COVID watching that first half. That's what it felt like. It was the symptoms of COVID. I was like, do I have COVID? What's this?
Do you know what, Leo? Do you know what? All joking aside, I got to half time and I thought, do you know what? I don't even think I'm that surprised by one, the performance, and two, the scoreline, because you know, in the weeks, you know, in this last week, a couple of friends of mine have just joked with me saying, you know, what if Tottenham lost 1-0 to Morecambe? And you'd be like, oh, don't be silly. But when you look at the starting 11, you know, no matter what any of us say, Golini in goal, Tanganga, Roden and Davis the back three, wing backs of Sessignon and Doherty, in midfield, Winks and Ndombele, the forward three of Dele Alli, Brian Hill and Giovanni Lo Celso. Ricky, let's come to you on the starting 11 first. Now, when you saw that starting 11, how did you feel? Because there's a comment here from Richard on screen saying, my first half thoughts, Antonio Conte picks a side of players available in the January sale. We are through, Arsenal knocked out by Nottingham Forest, up and down Spursy sort of a day. You know, we can see the positives in this. Yes, we are in the fourth round. We'll be playing Brighton in the fourth round. But the big worry for me is the fact that we have got big games coming up in the Premier League. Now, if Tottenham Hotspur don't go out and sign players in this transfer window, these are the players that need to come in when the likes of Heung-min Son are out injured, or a player is suspended, or if Harry Kane picks up a knock. These are the players coming in. This is the big worry for me going forward from now until the end of the season. How did you feel when that starting lineup came out?
Well, when I first saw the starting lineup, firstly, I was happy that it was a change side because I felt that first team really did need the rest. So even though I wasn't kind of happy about seeing Doherty out there on the right or Ndombele in the middle at the time, in the middle of the park, I was still kind of happy that we've changed the side and we've given these players an opportunity in January, not only to show us Spurs fans what they're about, but also if they want to get away, then to put themselves in the shop window. We didn't see any reaction from a lot of them. Lo Celso, Lo Celso done nothing for me all game. I don't know. Yes, he was on the right side, but I didn't know what he done or what he offered us today. And Ndombele, as we've said, literally, I mean, he should have been ripping up that team. Like you said, League One relegation zone. We should have seen him sprinting around that field. We should have seen him dominating. We should have seen him showing everyone what type of, how many levels he is above this team, and right. He didn't. Poor old Dele, he was up front. He ran about for a bit. Made himself busy in the interchanging in the first half, but again, didn't do much. Rodon, like you're saying earlier, Rodon, there was 2 moments, I think, in the first 5 minutes where
the back pass.
The weak back pass. And then he fumbled on the ball a bit as well. And I'm just kind of like, I can kind of see why the previous 3 managers, including Conte, have not really given him a shot and have not really trusted him because when he's come in, he hasn't really done much and he looks a bit shaky back there. Maybe his head's on his way out. I don't know. Again, I agree with you on Sessegnon as well. On the left side, I don't think he done much. He tried to put in a few crosses, but those were weak. They were either under hit or over hit. The little interchange passing when he tried to get a little 1-2, those were off. They were off place. They were not in the right place at all. And
he wasn't even looking up, was he? When some of the passes that he was doing,
he wasn't. He almost looked nervous. He almost looked a bit scared. And this is Morecambe. He should be going out there to express himself. We're all backing him to be the kind of competition for Reguilon. And to almost be that attacking player, the one that knows the wing-back role. He spent a season in Germany playing that wing-back role. So we should be seeing performances from him. But you know what? And I know he's young, and I know he's bedding in, and I know he's just come back from an injury. But all the stick that Emerson Royal has got over crossing. Now, look, we bought Emerson Royal, and he was a defensive right-back. Yeah? He had attacking endeavour, but he was more defensive right-back. And with the last couple of games that he's played, people have kind of got on him about his crossing. My thing, where I see the positive, is that firstly, he's only been here for 2 minutes. Second, he is trying. We can see a lot of effort and a lot of will to be in those places and to make the cross. And you know what? He's been asked by Conte to cross the ball. So, all right, whatever game it was that he put in, I don't know how many, and he only found like 4 or 5 people or something. I think it was like at 17, and he found 4 or 5 times. No. This is Emerson. Last couple of games, right. When he put in I think he put in like 15 crosses or something like that. When Reguilon put in 15, there was some crazy number of crosses that we had. But there was a lot of criticism of him because he only found his man like 4 or 5 times, right? But my thing is this. Is that he has been asked to cross the ball. So what he's doing is finding those spaces. And yes, he might not be pinpoint right now, but I feel that he's going to get there. And I feel that, as soon as he came on as well, we saw a difference on that right side. We saw a difference in the attacking play on that right side. And Harry Kane's goal came out from it.
But Ricky was like, it's the 70th minute. Morecambe are tired now. Like, yeah, I could have gone there. And whipped in a cross. My mum would have done, Troy's turn on the corner and whipped it across. It's the 85th minute. They're knackered. They're playing on a big pitch.
I'll tell you what, Leo, that's a great point because Morecambe, they played out of their skin. And I'll tell you what, they thoroughly deserved that lead at half-time, going in at half-time 1-0 up. Now, when we look back, this season under Nuno Espirito Santo at the start, you know, players not taking opportunities in the Europa Conference League. Then Antonio Conte comes in. Players were given opportunities again against Mura, the lowest ranked team in that competition. Of course, you know, they didn't take their opportunity again. We lost the game 2-1. And then today, as you've rightly said, Leo, League One team in Morecambe, you know, fair play to them. They put a shift in. They played very, very well. But you would think that this team that Conte put out today, full of internationals, and as Ricky just said there, you know, if they are in the shop window, you would be thinking that they want to go out the door and they want to be sold and they want to find a new club. Put yourself in that shop window, because the way I described it on my video earlier, it was like 11 individuals going out there. Right. And these are players that play together every day in training at Hotspur Way. What do you think is wrong? Because can it be all 11 players are just simply not good enough for Spurs? And when I say 11, I actually thought that Harry Winks had quite a good game today. You know, when you look at this starting 11, I know Ricky said about Lo Celso. I didn't think Lo Celso delivered very much for Tottenham Hotspur today. And I was very surprised when after the game, Spurs have said, vote for your man of the match. And Lo Celso is one of the 4 players. Very surprised.
Well, so, you know, okay, so it's kind of, okay, I'm going to say something now, right? So, yes, what you said, we have 11 players, and you asked the question, are 11 players rubbish? Now, no.
I didn't quite say that.
Okay, well, that's what you meant, okay? That's what you meant, Ricky. So you just become polite. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what Chris said. So that's what you meant anyway. So, okay, no, the 11 players are not, I mean, we had enough to beat this team. But I believe what it is that when there's certain amount of players not pulling their weight or not doing what they're supposed to do, the whole team becomes dysfunctional, right? All it takes is 2 or 3 players and it can change the game. I know, like I said earlier, about how when Moura come on and Skip and Kane came on, the game changed, the impetus, the energy went up, right? So the positive thing is that, you know, 3 players can come in, and 3 players that can come in can actually affect how the overall team plays, you know? So if we're able to rise that level with 3 additional players coming in, then we can see the potential of, hopefully when the transfer window in summer, whether if we can bring in 3 quality players in, the level of the overall team could improve. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily that we need a whole squad of teams. Sometimes it could just be 2 or 3 players not pulling their weight that can make the whole team dysfunctional. And I'm talking about players like Ndombele. You know, he just looked lethargic. He just looked slow. He was running backwards. Even though the first chance that he had in the first couple of minutes when the defender made a mistake and he was through on, he just looked clumsy. The way he was running, I'm like, is this guy serious? And he's got his shot off, but his body language is not there. He feels like he doesn't want to be involved. And this is surprising to me. You're an international footballer. They call you Ndombele. They give you all these names. They say how you're great in training, they've never seen a guy do all these tricks before. But when it comes to the game, he's just dead. He's like, he doesn't care, you know? And it's having someone like that in your team can affect the whole structure of the gameplay, the tactics. And then have also with players like Dele, I mean, I didn't even know what he does. I didn't even know he was playing up front. To be honest, I was watching a dead game. I didn't know who was up front. I didn't know what was going on. We were just playing in front of the defense. And so just to answer your question quickly, no, we don't have a team of dead players, but most of the dead players were playing in the first half. Yeah. And most of the players that we had in the first half do not deserve to be in the first team. These are the facts, right? And we need to have a big shopping spree. It needs to be Amazon, what they call it, Black Market Friday. We need to New Year's Eve, Christmas sale, bargain bucket KFC. Players need to go and players need to come in, because once we lose 2 or 3 players, Morecambe can beat us. That's what we're saying right now.
Can I just correct that, Leo? We do not need bargain bucket. We need premium.
I'm saying these guys are bargain bucket.
Yeah.
These are bargain bucket players. And we need to, I'm sorry, listen, I'm a fun guy, Chris. I'm a really fun guy, and you turned me into a moaning sod.
It's nothing to do with me.
It's your fault.
Right, let's take a question here from Andy. Happy New Year, Chris. Happy New Year, Andy. Thanks for your question here. Bad performance. Bright side, Arsenal lost. Dele Alli has to go with Ndombele. I still only have 3 subscribers, but Mora is solid. So head over and subscribe to Andy's channel. Mora is solid. Yes, absolutely agree. You know, we certainly did have to bring the big guns out to, you know, get us over that line today. Ricky, let's just go straight into it. I think I was going to talk about the points from the game, but I can't see how we can do this stream any longer without bringing up Tanguy Ndombele. What on earth is going on with Tanguy Ndombele? He walked off, having been substituted in the second half. He walked off extremely slowly. I couldn't believe my eyes, actually, how slow he walked off. The fans started booing. The fans were very, very unhappy. He then walked straight down the tunnel, wasn't seen again. What have you made of Tanguy Ndombele? Now, we talk about Tanguy Ndombele on this show, on this channel, every single week about his attitude, about giving opportunities under different managers. What is going to be happening with him, do you think?
Honestly, Chris, I think his head's gone now, mate. And I think today was the final nail in the coffin. Like, I'm one of Ndombele's biggest fans. During that summer that he came in, if we only signed him, that's who I wanted. But we have not seen the performances that he put in for his previous club. I can't remember if it was Lille or Lyon, but we have not seen those performances at all. And do you know what's upsetting as well is that he's a record transfer. We spent a lot of money on him. And not only that, you know, he's on 200 grand a week. If he stays at the club for his duration of his contract, I think it's something like 36 million pounds we will end up paying Ndombele. It's along those lines. And it's crazy. It's crazy. So, you know, he really, it's upsetting for me because every time that I've tried to back him or try to kind of go, all right, cool, you know, we've seen a flash of brilliance. He's going to do this. He's going to knock on. He's going to push on. He never has, unfortunately. And I've got to come on now as somebody who wanted him at our club and kind of criticize him and kind of, you know, say how bad he was. And it was blatantly obvious how bad he was. Not only was the walk super slow, but I'm sure it was either Winks or Kane that was like, hurry up, try to get him off quicker. And he went even slower after that. What also made me shake my head is that Brian Hill was taken off at the same time, and he was on the other side of the pitch. Yet he sprinted and almost got off the pitch before Ndombele, which says so much. It says so much about him right now. And you know, unfortunately, I've got to say that that's the final nail in the coffin, because if he can't turn up against Morecambe, then what's he going to do for us? He can't just be there kind of ciphering out money left, right and centre and just collecting those wages every week. It's madness. It's madness. So it's upsetting for me to say, but I think that's definitely his time done. If we can get rid of him this January, then I would take that. And you know what? I would even take a nominal fee, Chris, at this point. I'd take a 10 mil. I'd take a 20 mil, you know, because it's got to that point. We're not going to get anywhere close to how much we paid for him. We're not getting anywhere close to it. If we was to get 30 mil for him, I think that would be, you know, that'd be mind-blowing because of the performances that he's putting out. It's not just the performances, it's the professional attitude. Attitude. This is their job. You know, Leo, if you was asked to sing somewhere, bro, and you turn up and you walked on stage munching a burger with a brandy in your hand, do you know what I mean? And then half done it, you know, just half done, you know, you didn't even look at the audience. You're just like, yeah. Like, bro, I guarantee you, people will be going, you wouldn't get booked, but you wouldn't get paid either. You would not be getting paid, bruv. They'd be like, what was that? Do you know what I mean? So if you put it into any other walk of life, it doesn't run true. So, you know, even worse for Ndombele now, man. I think that's it. Final nail in the coffin, Chris.
Do you know what, Ricky? I said exactly the same thing to someone earlier. It's all right saying, you know, take a huge loss on someone like him, you know, take 10 or 20 million. But what club is going to agree personal terms when a player is on that much money, £200,000 a week? You know, what team is going to come in and say, I'll tell you what, I'll turn you around? Because when they've seen the likes of Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte cannot work, you know, two of the best managers out there, or was in Mourinho, you know, who is going to work with him? Who is going to pay that money to try and get the best from him?
Well, I heard that Mourinho wanted him. That's what I heard. There was something that Mourinho was, and I was shocked. I was thinking he's probably trolling Spurs.
Say it again, Leo. What did he say? Say the beginning.
I heard that Mourinho wanted to get Ndombele for Roma.
Oh, at Roma.
Yeah, so I thought it was trolling. I thought no way.
There is a rumour of that, and before we've gone on air, Fabrizio Romano have just tweeted saying Tottenham are looking for a solution to sell or loan out on Ndombele in this January transfer window, and Spurs are open to discussing swap deals, including on Ndombele. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in the next few weeks. But Antonio Conte, I just think that you know, you're not going to get away with having the attitude and playing the way you are. And even in the last few days, Conte has come out and said we had an opportunity against Liverpool, you know. He had an opportunity in the second half against Chelsea on Wednesday. He's had an opportunity again today. And as we've said, you know, on this stream already, you know, these players, including Ndombele, have had lots of opportunities this season. Have they taken it? Has he taken it?
Chris, Conte said it the other day when asked about Ndombele and when asked about Winks. When asked about Ndombele, he said, he's a midfielder. I think he's a midfielder. That was the line. That was it. And then when asked about Winksy, he was like, Winksy, I can trust him. I can count on him. He's staying here. Yeah. So like, I think that speaks volumes. Also, with getting rid of him, I think that not only that as Paratici got to work his magic and do a super Lamella deal and get a swap in if he can, but I think we're going to be stuck with an Adebayor situation where they pay 100 grand of his wages and we end up paying 100 grand of his wages until he's finally gone, which again doesn't work for us. But I think that might be the only way of getting him out.
Absolutely. I think like with a player like that, I don't want to hear anyone tell me how good a player he is. I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear that talk anymore, because he clearly isn't. Because you can do all the talk, but then when it comes to the game, when it comes to actually seeing what you've got, there's nothing there. It kind of remember that. Do you remember Blind Date? So remember Blind Date?
Yeah, of course. Come on.
You know, you had like the three. You know, you had that big screen, right? And then you're the guy and you're asking them questions, and all the girls are like giving it the big one. Yeah, if you pick me, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be like that. I'm going to do like all this business. And then you eventually pick one, right? And then you stand there and then the screen goes back and it's just a big lump. And it's like, what the hell is this? Like, you gave me all that chat. That's what Ndombele is. He's all of that. And then you think, let me give him a chance. And he shows nothing. Nothing. So, I mean, no one's going to shed a tear. And I know if you did a poll for Spurs fans, most of the guys are going to say sell him. You know, they're not going to think that, you know, give him another chance, because he's had so many chances. A lot of these players, Delhi, they've had a lot of chances. And you can't, I mean, this is Morecambe, Chris. This is Morecambe, Ricky, you know? Yeah. You know, you should go out there and at least bully these guys, intimidate them. You're at home. This is a massive stadium. They should be intimidated. You should be bullying. You should be, you know, having a presence on the pitch. So it's either that they literally don't want to play for Spurs, or they can't play football. They literally don't have no respect for themselves, because, like you said, it's not just only playing for the Spurs, for Conte, but where is your pride? Why do you want fans or people to abuse you? Or why would you want to give them the opportunity to say bad things or criticize you? Why would you want that? Why would you want that as a player? You know, you're getting paid handsomely, win, lose or draw, you know. Make an effort. Show us that you care. Show us that you want something. Advertise yourself for another club if you want to leave, but you're not doing any of that. So it baffles me, honestly. It baffles me, Chris.
Well, Leo, Richard writes a comment on screen now. Breaking news: Ndombele has just reached the changing room. So, and we've also got a comment for both of you two from Andy here. I have to say your hair is wonderful, and you remind me of D'Artagnan, the Fourth Musketeer. And Leo, I'm sure you're a fun guy. Ndombele is great, but way too much ego. Now, is it an ego thing, Ricky? Let's come back to you. Is it an ego thing? Because we talk about opportunities. Even in this game today, 30 seconds gone, Ndombele had a chance. He missed it. It went wide. What is it? Who can get the best out of him? If someone like Antonio Conte, a Serie A winner, won Serie A last season with Inter Milan, we've seen in the last couple of months at Tottenham Hotspur how he's been getting the best out of a lot of these Spurs players and improving them week by week. Is it just a case of one or two of these squad players? You have to just say, look, I can't do anything with them because, surely his evaluation's given them to the Spurs board. I've no doubt that he's probably written a list saying, I can improve this player, I can improve this player. Well, and some of these players I just cannot do anything with. Do you think that is the case? And do you think Ndombele is on that list of, I can't do anything with him?
I think he is, Chris. And today shows you. Today shows you. His head's gone. He needs to go to a league where, maybe back in the French league where, training ain't that intense. He can do what he wants. He can swagger about. I think he came in with the price tag and with the wages, and maybe that ego went up. And I don't know. But you know what? It's like we've been waiting for him for seasons to turn up. At the beginning when he turned up, especially under Poch, like we all know it takes a year to kind of get to grips with Poch's training methods and the fitness regime and what he demands. We know that. So I kind of gave him a year because I knew he was coming from the French league. It ain't as intense. So I was like, okay, cool. But under Mourinho, a couple of flashes of good things, but it's just never been enough. You've never seen him bust a gut or sweat even. Have you seen him sweat?
Ricky, what Mourinho did during the lockdown, Mourinho took him for a training session, right? Yeah,
turned up at his house.
Think about that. When the manager has to come out of his own way to motivate you as a player, it's like he's doing your job for you. Like this, you shouldn't have to be asked to be fit. You should not have to be asked to put in a shift. This is your job. This is what you get paid to do. I don't think he's a footballer, to be honest. I just think he likes football. He was good at it. People kind of said, yeah, get into the game. He kind of got into the game because maybe people around him were like, get into it. But players like that, we don't need. Players like that, no football club needs. Because you want a player that wants to play, wants to win, hates losing, wants to be respected, wants to be regarded as a great player. You have all those attributes, but yet you're seeing other players around you, all your other colleagues getting more respect, winning things. Doesn't that hurt you? Doesn't that hurt your spirit? Doesn't that motivate you to say, look at me, I have all this ability and I'm just a waste. So clearly he doesn't have those attributes. So as much as we want to cuss him and this, he doesn't deserve these criticisms because he's not a footballer.
He doesn't love the game. He doesn't love
the game. His heart is not in it. And when your heart is not in it, when you don't love the game, you just don't care. And he doesn't care. He's walking off the pitch slow. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything. Think about that. Your team's losing 1-0. You know you've played dead. You know that the manager is passionate and wants to win. You know the fans want you, because it's not like we want him to fail. No fans want any of our players to fail. Exactly. Every time we see the team sheet, regardless of whatever we feel about a player, whether it's Sanchez, it's Rodon, it's Hook Deli, we all want them to succeed. We are on their side. We're not, as much as I'm cussing, every time I see Spurs, no matter how much pain they give me, I'm on the side. I want you to do well. But you're just letting yourself down. And there's only so much we can take.
can I just ask you, Leo and Ricky? You know, you're both entertainers. Ricky, you're an actor. Leo, you're a singer. Now, for somebody booing you, you know, how on earth would you feel that someone's booing you when you're trying to perform, you know, to an audience? And you know, Ndombele as a footballer, now coming off the pitch, you know, your own fans booing. You know, go back to that Manchester United game when the fans were booing against Manchester United and Nuno Espirito Santo. You know, how do you think Ndombele feels? Because you're right, Leo, in what you say. We all, you know, cheer for every single player. I do it. I've never ever booed Spurs. You know, I might get criticised either way for this, but I've never booed Spurs off, and I would never ever boo or cuss one of the Tottenham Hotspur players while I'm in the stadium. It's just not my style. It's just not what I do. But I can completely understand why people did do it today, because people are so frustrated in the fact that we've seen someone have so many opportunities, and like both of you have said, we know what talent he's got. How would you feel if you were booed?
Ricky, you go first.
I mean, I'd be devastated, bro. I would be devastated if I got booed off stage, or if I got booed on set or anything like that. I'd be heartbroken. I'd be like, what's going on here? What have I done? Can we speak about it? What happened? What did I miss? Did I miss a line? What did I miss? What did I miss? You know, I would be kind of like stressing myself out to try and fix the problem. And then the next night, if I go out on stage, or if I was to go back out on set, I'm like, I'm going to show all of these that I'm worth my money. That's the first thing I'm going to show. I'm going to show all of these that I'm worth my place and I'm worth my money. I'm never going to be booed again. Let me tell you that much. I'm going to make sure that they know that I'm here, and I'm here for you, and I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give you, the audience, everything that I have. It doesn't matter what production I've been in over the years. I always give everything that I have, and I always want it to be the best that it can possibly be. Doesn't matter whether I'm in a school doing a workshop, or on stage, or on set. It doesn't matter. Wherever I've been, I've always wanted to do that. And luckily, I haven't been booed off. So, but I would be heartbroken. But I think it's what Leo said there as well. If he's got no heart, then is he going to care? If he only cares about the 200 grand going in his bank every week, then that's all he cares about. Maybe that's when he smiles. Maybe that's when he celebrates. Maybe that's when he sprints. He sprints to the cash point. I don't know. You know? But it is upsetting that kids that have bought his shirt, you know what I mean? Like us, that will come on and try and back him here and there and everywhere. You know, fans watching at home, fans traveling to the ground to go and see him, and excited and hoping that the real Ndombele is going to turn up. And then to see that the fans had to let him know. The fans had to let him know, and that's what it is. And I'm very much like you, Chris. I don't like booing my team. I don't really like slagging them off. I really don't. I try and find the benefit of the doubt or the silver lining in every situation. Sometimes there ain't one. And with Ndombele right now, there ain't one. Do you know what I mean? There's not even a bronze lining, let me tell you. Forget silver.
No, listen, what Ricky said, he hit the nail on the head. You know, as an artist, whatever you do, whatever, for me anyway, if I ever got booed, you would say, are you mad? What? You would want to come back and prove everyone wrong, because I have self-pride. Everyone's got an ego. I've got an ego. Yes, we all have an ego to a certain degree. You understand? You don't want people to think that you are shit. You don't want people to think that you're not good enough. You know, you're representing yourself. You're representing your friends. You're representing your family. You don't want people to think that people don't appreciate or like your contribution to something. You know, there has to be a level of self-respect. So when Ricky says he's going to come back the next day and show them that, no, I deserve to be here. This is what I'm going to do. This is my makeup. This is what I'm all about. There's no way you're going to boo me ever again. This is a standard attitude. This is a standard, and this is what is expected from anyone in any profession, especially a profession that they care about, especially a profession that they're involved in and they're getting paid from, and people are looking to them. People have invested their money. We've got fans, thousands and millions of fans all over the world looking to you. You're in a privileged position, and they're looking to you to do something, and you look like you don't care. That says a lot. So it's not so as like I keep saying, as much as we want to cuss him in the, he's had multiple opportunities to prove us wrong, or multiple opportunities to prove that he cares, and he hasn't done it. So it's like flogging a dead horse. There's no point. Let him go. Am I wrong?
Well,
No, you're not
Leo,
wrong, bro.
another question from Andy here on screen. Ndombele deserves to feel bad for being booed. My auntie May had a tortoise that couldn't get off that pitch quickly, and he died 3 years ago.
We love
as
this,
Ricky said,
Andy.
Harry Kane was quite annoyed, saying, come on, get off.
Yeah.
What on earth must the teammates feel about Ndombele tonight?
Exactly. I mean, it's like this. It's like, think about this, because sometimes I think to myself, okay, you're in a team, a squad of players, right? Every player knows where they are in the pecking order. They know Harry Kane knows he's getting picked. Regardless if it was half, Harry Kane knows he's getting picked. Son knows he's getting picked. Lloris knows he's getting picked. There's players that know where they are in the pecking order, right? And there's people that know know that they're not, well, am I going to get picked? I'm probably not going to get picked. And Ndombele, he has this talent. Delhi has this talent. They know they have this talent. And they're seeing all these other players getting ahead of them, doing what they're doing. I mean, how do you think it feels when they make the 3 changes and all of a sudden we win 3-1?
Yeah.
How do you think I would feel if I was one of the players that got subbed off and they brought in 3 players? Think about that.
But the thing is, Leo, Andy writes on screen again, thanks for your comment, Andy. We were 1-0 down at that point when Ndombele was coming off. We were 1-0 down, with 20 minutes to go, and he was coming off that slowly. Surely, mentally, in a football match, you've got 20 minutes left. You're playing against a League One side at home in the FA Cup. You want to be going through to the next round, don't you?
No respect. He has no respect. No respect. Because it's not about you. It's about Spurs. It's about getting through to the final.
Yeah.
And you're walking off slow. You have no respect for anyone. No respect for the fans. No respect for yourself. No respect for the players that want to come on and actually want to do the game. No respect for Conte. And this is a serial winner. Him. No respect. Look at, like Ricky said, look at Gil when Gil came off. And you respect him. He came off. He ran, because we want to win. It's not about a personal thing. It's about getting Spurs across the line. What do you think, Ricky?
I tell you what makes me giggle as well is that there was rumors that he wanted to go to either Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Bayern Munich. If he wants to move, he wants to go to one of the big boys. And you tell me what big boy is going to look at him and go, oh yeah, you know what? Come to my team. Like, right. What are you? Come on. But no, I totally agree with you, bro. Like, no respect, no pride. Like, doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Absolutely agree with you, bro.
So why are we talking about him? He does not care. That's the point. It's like we want him. Honestly, it's like you want him to. Everyone's urging everyone. We want him to do something, but he's not doing it because he doesn't care. And we shouldn't hate him. Let's just accept the fact that he doesn't care. And let's just heal ourselves because we're in trauma right now. We're in trauma. Let's heal ourselves and let him
I just
go.
think, though, Leo, it's the fact that he's cost so much money. And, of course, we know that we don't spend, vast amounts of money like other clubs do. So when we've spent a good amount of money on a player, we want it to work. And as Ricky said earlier, we've all willed him on. We've all wanted it to work for him, and it clearly hasn't. Another player, when you think about Lo Celso and Ndombele, £100 million between them two. I wanted to talk about Ndombele because in the 9th minute, he had a free kick, went to the goalkeeper. I just feel that it was really wasted. In the 21st minute, he took a corner, floated over to Doherty, who his header hit the outside of the post. And then he had a shot blocked in the 28th minute. Ricky, you mentioned Lo Celso earlier. And then, of course, I said that he's been nominated, for one of the players to get possible man of the match. Although in the FA Cup man of the match, they've actually given it to Harry Winks already. But this is the club one. Lo Celso, does he do enough for you?
I don't know what he does. Again, he's another one. He done nothing for me today. He done nothing for me today. I wanted him to come in. I wanted him to show us you know, what he's about. He's been injured. He's been in Argentina. You know, he turns up for Argentina when he plays for them. But when he gets an opportunity for Spurs, what have we seen from him? We ain't seen nothing. We saw maybe 3-4 games under Mourinho where we could see a bit of energy and a bit of tenacity and a bit of movement, some interplay. But what did he do today, Chris? What did he do? Nothing.
What is his best position in your opinion?
He doesn't know what he does. Listen, I figured it out, guys. Listen, it's very easy. It's very easy. You know, because we know, maybe no one's vocaled it before. But like Ricky just said, he doesn't know what he does. And that's true. We know what Kane does. We see it. We know he can score left foot, right foot header. We know he's strong. We know his attributes. When you talk about Son, what does Son do? We know he's got pace. We know he can bang a 20-yarder, 35. We know that's what he does. When you talk about Moura, we know Moura's great in the air. We know Moura runs at players. We know Moura nips in and gets in that. We know what these players do. When we talk about players like Lo Celso, we don't know what he does. When we talk about players like Doherty, in fact, we do know what Doherty does. He doesn't do nothing. You understand? We know what Sanchez does. He's clumsy. So what I'm saying is, we all know the good players because they do it consistently all the time. And all we have to do is go through the Spurs squad and ask ourselves, what is this player known to do? When it was not Ndombele but Dembele, you know, the Dembele, we knew he was strong, right? Musa, we knew he was strong, we knew he could pass, we knew he was powerful. Yes, so put him in the team because we know what we're going to get at the end of the day. Even down to who was I forget our players. Who's the right back, black guy, the right back that we sold him now?
Kyle Walker?
Not Kyle Walker, the one after.
Sergio Aurier.
Serge Aurier. We knew what he does. We knew that he's powerful. We knew that he attacks and he gives assists and he scores goals. Going backwards, we know that he could be clumsy, but we knew what he at least he had an effect. He did something. There's a lot of players in this Spurs team that we don't know. I don't even know what Dele does, really. Even when people were making all this, I don't know what he does. He's not known for tackling. He's not known for doing 25-yarders. He's not known for scoring headers. He's not known for beating players, and I don't know what he does. You know, and we can quickly find out who is who if we go through every player like that.
Yeah, well, we're getting through them, Leo. We're getting through them.
Yeah.
Ricky, let's come to you. Now, of course, Morecambe took the lead in the 33rd minute. Corner came over. It seemed that their player in the middle was completely unmarked, but he'd actually lost his man in Tanganga. It just seemed so easy. It just seemed so schoolboy error.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, bro. I think Doherty got confused as well. I thought it was Ndombele actually that lost him, but if it was Tanganga, all right, cool. But still, I mean, it's schoolboy errors, like you're saying, and it almost looked like you said at the beginning of the show, basically, Chris, is that back line or that team were like almost like 11 individuals going on. Do you know what I mean? They all had a different aspect. You know, Rodon didn't really kind of assert himself as a kind of assured, strong centre back in that system. You know, Tanganga, he tried at least. You know, but
really?
I thought he was trying, but I don't think he done as well as we all wanted him to do. I thought the best player out of the back line was Davies. I thought Davies was head and shoulders ahead of everybody else. I thought that. Do
you think Tanganga should be in the Spurs first team?
No, I think Tanganga needs a loan. I think we should have taken the Besiktas or Galatasaray loan in the summer. I can't remember which one it was.
The thing is, though, the thing is, you take the Chelsea game on Wednesday night. Tanganga came in for Eric Dyer, right? Who else are you going to play there?
Exactly. We ain't got nobody else.
Seriously though, Leo, who else are you going to play there? Because a number of people said play Joe Rodon. Apparently, Joe Rodon for whatever reason, I think he was ill or something similar. That's why he didn't play in Wednesday's game. But so many Spurs fans keep mentioning Joe Rodon playing. Another player, given an opportunity. What have you made of Joe Rodon today?
Listen, they're not good enough. That's the bottom line. So let me just burst all the Spurs fans. Our B team is not good enough. Our B team could not get into any first team anywhere. If we're planning on winning competitions, if you're planning on getting to winning the cups or trying for the league, we need a big squad. A big squad. When you look at the bench, you think, right, this guy's going to come on and make a change. We don't have that. Rodon is not that. Tanganga is not that. These guys should not be smelling the bench. They should not even be in the team, in the squad. They shouldn't be. I think we are so conditioned that we believe that they deserve to be in the team, but they will never get into a top side. And we know, okay, people say, oh, but Spurs are not a top side. Yes, I want to believe we're a top side, especially when Poch came, he transformed us to a top 4 team, top 2 team, top 3 team, right? And so these players should not be on the bench. And Sessegnon should not be on the bench. I'm sorry. Rodon should be on the bench. But let alone they're in the first team. It's unacceptable, So no, we don't have any other players to come in to take their place because this is who we have. But they're rubbish and they need to go.
Leo, let me put this to you then. This starting 11 that played today, if this B team, as people call it, were in League One, would we be winning League One? Would we be going for promotion? Would we be mid-table or would we be relegated?
No, I think, do you know what it is? We would be, with this team, I reckon probably 8th, 17th, 16th. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I'm being serious because think about it. Football is about the mind, right? And then people talk about the FA Cup and the spirit of the FA Cup. These Morecambe are coming to Whitehall and they're revved up, right? But on the other side of the coin, you have players, right, who should be revved up because they are playing for their career. They're playing for their contract. They're playing to be coached by Conte, who's one of the best coaches in the world. And as a footballer, you would want to be taught by Mr. Miyagi, right? You'd want Mr. Miyagi to give you wax on, wax off. You'd want to be in that room when he's doing that, wouldn't you? You'd want to be coached by the best, right? And he's saying to you, oh, my son, go out there and show me what you've got. How many times is he saying that? And you don't use that as impetus to come good at home against the low league. So no, they wouldn't win the League One. They won't win League One. They'll be 16th and 17th. We were losing 1-0, Chris.
Yeah.
I take it you've just watched a new series of Cobra Kai then, have you?
Cobra Kai. I'm about to watch
Never
that.
Yeah. I'll do it. It's amazing.
Is it great? Everyone tells me it's good.
Bro, you will love it.
Seriously. But
bro, you love
listen, it's one of those things. I don't know what it is, but you have a great stadium. You have amazing fans. You have one of the best coaches in the world. You're getting paid 150, 200,000, whatever it is. There's social media where you have a way to show off your greatness, and you're not taking that opportunity. You have family and friends that, think about this. What do you think his family is saying to Ndombele? What do you think his friends are saying to Dele Alli when he comes off the pitch, when they're at home? It's clearly they must know that he's not in it. Where are your friends? Where are your family to say, look, dude? Mourinho said to him, you might regret this in 10 years' time because your career is short. Mourinho tried. But when it's not there, it's not there. And so we just have to accept it. And I'm glad, like I said, they keep exposing themselves. I'm glad that Conte is giving these players rope to hang themselves because it justifies Conte going into Levy and saying, "Look at this, we need to make a change. We need to bring some money in." And so I'm glad. I said to you, Chris, earlier before that I didn't want Conte to come in and then all of a sudden the Spurs team are winning every single game, playing attractive football. I didn't want that because if that happened, it just goes to show that the mentality of players that we have in the team is that when things don't go their way, they down tools and then they sod off the manager. And I didn't want that. So I'm glad that everything is being exposed. I'm glad that we're playing poorly, because Levy now has to back Conte and bring some quality players. So yeah,
I'm going to ask a question to both of you that I asked a lot of people while Jose Mourinho was our manager. Now, when Jose Mourinho come in, I asked a lot of Tottenham Hotspur fans on this channel, did he think it's a bigger job than what he first thought when he came in? Ricky and Leo, do you think that Antonio Conte feels like that? Because, from what he's saying, these last few games and this last week, he's been talking an awful lot about this squad and, what a huge job this is.
Yeah, but you know what, Chris? I'd give you another Mourinho quote, which was, same manager, different players. Same thing. It's the same thing. And you know what? It's crazy that these players are kind of, especially the B team that played today, it's wasted opportunity. It's wasted opportunity. They've got an opportunity to put their stamp on this new team, to show Conte, I can be relied upon. I want to be in this first 11. The best example of that is Winks right now. Winks, we've all criticised Winks over the past couple of years when he's played. And it's not been just for criticizing sake.
Ricky, can I just say, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium today, before the game, I went and saw our good friend Anthony Costa.
Yes.
He was sat in the East Stand, right? He took his nephew to his first game at the new stadium. And Anthony, it was the politest I've ever seen Anthony. No swearing, no nothing, because he had the young nephew with him. Right. And I mentioned Harry Winks a few times. He didn't swear at all. And I tell you what, the free kick where Harry Winks put the ball would have been right in front of our good friend Anthony Costa. So he would have had the best view of that goal.
Right.
Oh, I want to see Costa in a Winks shirt, man. That's what I want to see. I want to see Costa in a Winks shirt, man, by the end of the season. I just think that he is a perfect example of somebody who we've all criticised before, and rightly so. The performances wasn't up to par. But you know what? He has taken this opportunity with Conte. He has gone, you know what?
Yeah.
And he's had opportunity to leave as well. He hasn't. He said he's a Tottenham boy. He's been there since 6 years old. He wants to achieve with the club. I tell you what, I saw an interview with him on N17 Live after the game, and he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy. He was still frustrated. He spoke about not celebrating his goal even. And that was a great goal, and I think he meant it. He said that he meant it on the in the interview, but he didn't celebrate because there's still work to do. It's only 1-1. We need to be putting these teams away, and that's the attitude, and that's the application that I want to see from those that are on the periphery. We've seen it with Davies. He's been trusted to go into that back line. All of us, he would have been all on our January out list before Conte turned up. But he has turned up. Even Sanchez. I know you're cussing out Sanchez there, Leo. But you know what? Last couple of games, he's been the last man there. He's last-ditch tackles. He's been covering Dyer when Dyer's messed up. He's been angry. He's been frustrated about some of the positions that they've gone in and some of the positions that he's had to defend in. He was unlucky against Chelsea with that sliding tackle that ended up turning into the free kick because it ricocheted off of Højbjerg, and then he had to tackle again. But we've seen these players at least step up to the mark and try to take their opportunity, try to show everyone, the club, the fans, Conte, everyone at the club, what they're about. And it's a shame that these other players, Ndombele, Dele, Lo Celso, these players they've not taken their opportunity. They're not showing us anything. Not anything, not even on a base level.
No.
So that's one of the saddest things. And I know we're off of Ndombele, but you know what? He has been catered for. All right. Not only did Moussa Sissoko and Serge Aurier babysit him, but we had Daniel Levy having a chat with him that we saw in the documentary. He also had that liaison officer who speaks French to be there and do as much as he could for him. And we haven't seen it. We just haven't seen him.
Because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Football is not his thing. you know. But before we continue, actually, guys, I see that we've got like how many 900 people on the stream, and we've only got 141 likes. So
come
guys,
on.
you know, come on, man, we can't have this. We can't be having this, guys. You know. So we're gonna count to 5 to 1. Let's see if we can get. It needs to be about at least 600 likes, isn't it, Ricky?
Yeah, at least minimum.
Likes.
Come on,
minimum. So I'm gonna count from 5 to 1. Get this finger right, and we're gonna go 5 to 1, and we're going like what? 5. Ricky, count me. 4, 3, 2, 1. Like, let's see those numbers. Let's see those numbers. Come on, guys. 871 and only 141 likes. Come on. Look,
Leo, let's come to you now. A comment on screen. Just got in. We're not actually happy with the result, right? Now, we are all happy with the result. We're all happy that we're in the fourth round. But, of course, it may seem a little bit negative or, you know, honest, I'd probably call it, of that assessment of the first half. It was very, very poor with players not taking their opportunities again. Even Antonio Conte said, I wasn't happy at half-time. The players weren't happy. Harry Winks said there were some home truths in that 15 minutes at half-time. Leo, let's come to you. What do you think that Antonio Conte said at half-time to these players?
I mean, he's literally said to guys, listen, you are Premiership football players. You play for Spurs. You're getting paid X amount. These guys are in League One, bottom of the league. You're playing in front of your fans at home, and they're 1-0 up. Are you not embarrassed for yourself and your whole life? What is this about? It's not even about me giving you tactics. It's just the basic things you're not doing. You know, and you're letting these guys come into your house and show you up. It's like you invite friends come into your house and they're drawing your girl and you're having it. They're telling you, they're whispering in your girl's ear sweet nothings, and you're just standing there like a mom, and she's just there getting all flirty and flirting back with them. That's what it's like. It's a disrespect. They're disrespecting you in your own house. And are you gonna have that? What man is gonna have that?
Not me, bro.
Honestly, you're not.
No, you're right.
No, come on. It's a disrespect.
Right.
These guys are lower division. Man for man, you need to be winning your own battles, and you're there struggling. There was a moment in the game where Ndombele literally just got manhandled. The guy just pushed him off, and he fell on the floor looking for the foul. And then, you know, the referee didn't give it, and he's just sitting there. And I'm thinking, you just got buoyed off. You're French international. You're Mr. Ndombele. You're Spurs' biggest signing. You're supposed to be on that game dictating play. You're the guy that's supposed to be, you know what? I'm going to show these guys. These guys think that I'm a waste man. And let me just show these guys. Bang, left foot, bam. You should be mocking these players, toying with them, backflips. You know, look at, what's his name? Ronaldinho. When you watch Ronaldinho's, you know, fun clips on YouTube where he's taking the piss. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be taking the piss with these players. I looked at Chelsea's result yesterday, 5-1. Easy. And I know they didn't play their full team. These are the sort of results that Spurs should be giving Morecambe. 5-1, easy. We should have been 2-3-0 up in the first half, but we're 1-0 down. So what do you think Conte is going to tell these players? What do you expect Conte to tell you? You should be dreading going into the changing room at halftime after that performance. And you can't say, "Oh, Conte, don't be harsh on me." Oh, you know, you deserve every abuse or every criticism that you're going to get in that changing room, because what you've shown in the first 45 minutes against players that should not even be close to you, you're making them look like they're Real Madrid of old.
Yeah.
And then you want to now ask to play in the first team against the Premiership side. You want to go and knock on the door and say, "Oh, Conte, I deserve to be picked." when your girl has been laid down and manhandled in front of your face? Who's going to respect you? Your girl doesn't respect you after she's seen you allow a next man come and draw her.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And Ndombele's wage packet, he probably gets paid more than that whole Morecambe side, bruv. And on that comment, yes, I would prefer Cotton in the middle than Ndombele. Yes, I would, and I'll give her a call as well. Yeah, no,
Ricky,
I'm 100% with you. Go on, Chris.
Comment on screen now from Andy. Thanks so much again, Andy. Let's not take it all out of proportion. Antonio Conte has managed 9 games, 5 wins, 3. It's actually 8 games, 5 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. It's not a disaster. Beat Arsenal. Life is good. Now, I know we're going to come up to that on the end of the video by talking about the previewing of the Chelsea and Arsenal games. But you know, when we have got such important games coming up, you just hope that some of these players, you know, we've mentioned Harry Winks there, and I completely agree with you. Harry Winks was probably our most creative player in the Southampton away game, a week or 2 ago. But out of this 11 that played today, who would you feel comfortable? I know Davis is a regular starter as well out of this 11, but out of the other 9 players, who do you think, or who would you feel comfortable in being in the Tottenham Hotspur squad, coming off the sub bench and being a game changer out of these players that played today?
I think it's down to Winks. I mean, I know we just mentioned him, but I think Winks is becoming a game changer right now with his endeavour and his eye for a pass right now, and an eye for a goal and a shot. I think probably Hill right now is probably and I think that's what he's doing. Conte, I think that's what Conte is doing, which is using him as a bit of a super sub, that when the opposition is tired, that he can come on, run them ragged. I think he plays better on the left than he does the right. I think that's the better position for him. I think he feels a bit more comfortable on the left because he is known as a very left-footed winger that loves the left side. So I think them two, but the rest, I can't say, mate. I can't say. Davies as well, but the rest didn't do nothing for me. Rodon didn't do nothing for me. Tanganga didn't really do nothing for me. Doherty, I mean, if we can get him gone this January, please. Sessegnon, again, bit of a dead game for me. Again, a game where he could have shown up and put his bid in for a first team spot, but didn't really impress me today. He didn't have a terrible game. It just didn't impress me today. Even when they inverted the wing backs, I was kind of like, it looked like he couldn't pass with his right foot. I mean, it's true. Lo Celso, the nobody man, he didn't do anything for me. Dele
No
didn't do nothing. No Celso, innit?
Or Lo Celso.
Too low Celso. Yeah, so there was a lot of nothing there. And again, to kind of harp back on what Leo was saying there about 3 players and how much effect 3 players can have on the starting 11 or on the team that are on the field at that particular time. If we put out our first 11, our strongest 11, who is there to come off, like you're saying there, who is there to come off to kind of impact the game? It's Winksy and Hill right now. That's it. You know, that's
the players.
I don't know what's happening with Bergwijn. I know there's reports saying that he's on the list on the way out, but he has.
Well, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed today, Ricky, that he will be sold in the January transfer window.
Yeah, well, there you go. But that means that we've got players coming in. If he's going, then the positive about that is that we've got a winger coming in or a person that can play in that front 3. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's behind the man or on the wing. So if he goes, because he does have pace, he does have skill, he does have a shot on him. Not that we've seen it that often, but he does have a shot on him. So if he's going, which is fine, then I'm hoping and praying that we're bringing somebody in that can fill that spot and can kind of give us something different.
You know, with players like Bergwijn, again, it's a puff and puff, no result. That's Bergwijn.
But we're
it's time to be ruthless, Leo, isn't it? It's time to be ruthless and rebuild this squad properly.
rebuild the squad. We don't. Let me just tell all the Spurs fans. Let me look into the camera and tell all the Spurs fans, our squad is dead. Let's accept that. Our squad is dead. Let's remove all this, oh, I like him as a person. No, we have dead players. We've probably got about 6 players in the team that I would say let's keep. And those are obviously Harry Kane, Son, Mora, Skip, Højbjerg, obviously Lloris. And now I'm struggling now. Dyer, but even still, if you were to pick of championship winning team, would Dyer be in it? If you were to pick a winning squad that were going to do what Arsenal did and not lose or to compete against Man City, and you had players to pick, you could trade Dyer for many other defenders in the league right now. There was a time when I used to, because I've got a lot of Liverpool friends and Arsenal friends, and then we would look at each player and we would say who would swap with who, and I would be like, keeping Kane, keeping Ndombele, keeping Son, and and they would agree. But right now, yeah, you can have him. He's dead. We don't have anyone, so let's accept that we don't have these players. And so we're playing literally, whenever Spurs first team is literally a Spurs B team. That's why we're struggling against Watford. That's why we're struggling against these players, because we're thinking because they're first team, they should be winning. But we're really putting out a B team. Our first team is really a B team. That's why we're getting battered by Chelsea. That's why we're getting battered by Man Cities and the Liverpools, and we're struggling to break down defenses because we don't have those players. And let's just accept that and just know that what we're going to do is by bringing some new players that, like I said, it doesn't have to be much. It could be 2 or 3 players. Whether we do it in January, which is going to be hard, or whether we do it during the summer. But whoever we bring in, because I have faith in Conte, because I believe and I hope that it's Conte that's making these decisions, because clearly whoever bought Doherty needs to be sacked. Whoever bought, I'm sorry to say, Romero needs to go, because our signings have been poor.
Romero?
Not Romero. Sorry, my bad. What's his face?
Rodon.
Rodon, sorry. Right? As much as it's and the thing is, it's like everyone looks good on a show reel. When Rodon came on, I looked at the show reel, oh yeah, we got a defender at last. He looked great, but dead.
But you know what? I think that's the problem with it, and it's changing. The positive aspect of this is that the tide is changing with Paratici, with Conte, and even with Levy taking a back seat and allowing Paratici to build this squad, allowing a football person to start rebuilding this squad. But you got to remember, like previously, we're known as a project team, so we'll bring in a young one and we'll look to develop them. We'll look to try and build them up, and then we'll look to try and get them in the first team to, and then if we want to sell them, if not, but we've built them up. We're more of a project team, where I think that with Paratici coming in, I think we're going to look more to, instead of like the younger ones. Of course, there's always going to be a whiz kid in our squad, or we're always going to go for a new young and up and coming player. But I think that he's going to look to get players in the ages between 24 and 28, where these players have done something, they've shown something, like their professional attitudes are higher. Paratici's dismantling the whole kind of scouting system, and he's starting again. It's been said that he's looking to level up our scouting so that it becomes in line with other top clubs. That means that we are way off the line, bro. Previous to that, I don't know how far back we are, but we're way off of it, and we're seeing it with these players that were in the B team today. We're seeing it with these signings that we've got previously that are not working, that are not worth the project right now. So it's all about the fact that they're restructuring, and they're looking for quality. The age range of the players that are coming in, but also their mental attitude and what are their hearts saying about the game. Do they have a love and a passion for the game? Do they really want to win? Do they really want to succeed? You know, and we're going to be going for those players that are, all right, you know, some players might have twinkly feet, but they don't have the head, i.e. Ndombele. But right now, we're going to go for players that have it all. Do you know what I mean? Or have aspects of all that we can increase with Antonio Conte as our manager.
I'm going to say something quickly. Sorry, go on, finish.
No, I was just going to say, so the tide is turning, bro. The tide
No,
is turning.
and I agree with you. And that's the only reason why, you know, despite the horrible performance, I have faith because we have Conte. Because he's a serial winner. And whenever I see him, I believe that we have someone that represents me. Someone that knows he's not going to take no bullshit. Someone that knows he wants the best for the team. Someone that's going to work and try hard. And he's proven. And that's the only reason why I believe we're going to come good. There's a deep feeling in me that believes, despite all this talk that I'm doing and abuse that I'm doing, I believe we're going to come good because we've got Conte. And Conte knows how to win. Conte knows what to do to make us win. I just hope Levy can support him. And regardless of wherever we end up this season, because we have Conte, I'm relaxed. I don't know about you guys.
I completely agree, Leo. And as I said to you before we come on air, I was lucky enough to meet Antonio Conte after today's game. And I actually said to him, good luck for the rest of the season. And he looked up at me right in the eyes and said, thank you very much, as if to say, I'm going to need the luck because I'm going to need it, you know, for the rest of the season. But Ricky, it's so funny you talking about Dot Cotton playing in the centre of midfield because we're now having comments saying Pat Butcher in goal, the centre backs. You know, it'd be like a contended dream team. Ricky, let's come to you. Comment on screen now, and I'm so sorry to go back to this subject of Tanguy Ndombele, but it says, do you guys honestly think that Daniel Levy will sanction a loss on Ndombele? Because when I think about it, Ricky, would a loan, you know, when you've got a player like this, where you've got a record signing, you paid an awful lot of money for them, probably the best solution would be that if you find a loan for them with an option then to buy. So you live in that hope that they will give their absolute best at that club, you know, for the remainder of the season, and then that club are convinced that they need to sign that player in the summer. That's probably the only solution, isn't it?
That's usually the solution, but with someone like Ndombele, you can't. I think we've got to either go in for like a straight swap or go in for a straight sell, because I think if he goes on loan somewhere, they're going to find him out. They're going to see how late he turns up to training. They're going to see how slow he runs off the pitch. They're going to see his attitude in training and on the pitch, which will, whoever he's on loan to will be like, maybe he's not for us, you know. So I think it's going to have to be a bit of a straight swap with a little bit of dough from us, our end, or a straight sale. Yeah, bro, like, because I think as soon as they find him out, it's going to be tough. And, you know, like, if we look at Chelsea for a minute, they bought a player called Bakayoko. And the reason I say that is because a lot of people don't believe that Bakayoko plays for Chelsea because you've never really seen him apart from in a preseason game or something like that. But they had Bakayoko, and Bakayoko has been on loan since he signed for Chelsea. So we could get into that circle as well, where we loan him, he comes back because nobody wants him. We loan him again, he comes back. We loan him until he's a free. So I would take the example and the attitude change that we had during the summer that we had with Serge Aurier, where we couldn't get a sale for him, we couldn't get a loan for him, we couldn't get any money for him. So we decided to, you know what, cut our losses and push him out there on a free. So not, you know, we know that Levy doesn't like to take a loss on anything or anyone, but I think in this circumstance where we're rebuilding for the benefit of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, I think we're going to have to take one. I think Levy's going to have to take one. So that's what I reckon is going to happen, bro.
Now, Ricky, I just feel that between us, we're going to turn Leo really positive in this last segment of this show. Leo, let's talk about the positives from today's game. 69 minutes gone. We've got 21 minutes left. Antonio Conte clearly wants to win this game because, you know, under the management of Chelsea, 2 seasons at Chelsea, he got Chelsea to the final. They lost that game against Arsenal in the final. The following year, he won the FA Cup. Got to the final again. Won the FA Cup against Manchester United. Now he'd been involved in English football for 2 years before us. Gone to the FA Cup final twice. Clearly, he's eyeing going to the final this time. He wanted to get this job done today. 20 minutes left. He brought Lucas, Skip, and Kane on. How are you feeling by that point? Did you think that this is going to get the job done today?
Well, absolutely. Even when we went 1-0 down, I had a feeling we were going to win. There was no way we were going to lose this game today. Especially with Conte and the fact that we have Kane and these players on the bench. So I didn't want Kane to come on. I didn't want our first team to come on. I was embarrassed that we had to do that. We should have had enough to win the game. But the fact that Conte brought in these players again shows that, one, he wants to win. He's a serial winner. He wants to get us as far as he can. The second thing is he's given these players enough rope to hang themselves, because now they can't come to him and say, hey, why are you not picking me for Saturday's game against Arsenal? I gave you the opportunity. You can't tell me I don't give you the opportunity. Whether the agents are on a call, because the agents are involved nowadays in the game so much, and the agents can't talk now. No one can say, because he's exposed everyone. So I was happy. I'm happy that we won. I'm happy that we're through to the next round. I'm happy that, like I said, we have Conte in charge, because if it was anyone else, if this was, and I keep forgetting his name, Nuno, if we had Nuno, I'll be depressed right now. Depressed. Whenever Nuno, listen, I don't know about when you Spurs fans, but when Nuno signed for Spurs, I stopped watching the conferences and
the press conferences.
I couldn't watch him anymore. I felt like I had COVID, watching him. Literally, the Delta version, right? I had the Delta version ×2. That's what he made me feel like. So because we have Conte, I have this belief that things are gonna come good, and we need to give him time. So I'm even happy to write off this season. I'm even happy. I'm not saying I'm happy, but I will accept us not winning anything this season, because he came in halfway through the season and he needs to give time to build. January is not the space for us to get the players that we want. If we sign players like the Wolves guy, then yes, it might be a stopgap thing, because we definitely need players. But because we have Conte, I'm good. I'm happy. So yeah. That's my answer.
Ricky, let's come to you on that, because in the last week or so, Antonio Conte has been extremely honest, hasn't he? And said that, he can't promise, Tottenham fans anything at the moment, because there's so much to do. And there is a lot to do. And if there wasn't a lot to do, then of course, Nuno Espirito Santo would still be here and Antonio Conte wouldn't. So really, very quickly on this, both of you, what realistically do you expect from Spurs this year? Is it a case of we write yet another season off saying, well, we're not going to win a trophy, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that? Antonio Conte is building the squad. We all know, Pochettino said a number of years ago, you've got a great mansion, you need the furniture to put in this mansion, you need the complete rebuild. It hasn't happened. Is this the time? Is it going to be done?
Bro, I wouldn't write it off. I wouldn't write off the season because I don't think Conte will write it off. I think, it's audition. It's audition season, and we know how much Conte demands. So I expect progression. I expect us to start this rebuild. I would hope with at least minimum 2 players in January, and hopefully we can secure a couple of frees for the summer. We all know, we all believe that next season, with Conte having a full pre-season and bringing in some of his players that he can trust and he can count on, that we're going to go a lot further. So all I need to see, game by game, is progression, bro. And that's all I'm asking for right now, is progression. Because before Conte turned up, we were Titanic FC. We wasn't Tottenham FC. We were Titanic FC. We were sinking like the damn Titanic. And not even the band wanted to stay on the damn boat. They were like, look, later on, use what I can, because they were off, mate. They were off. I didn't see nothing.
In fairness, though, Ricky, we have seen progression in every game.
Yes.
Apart from, if I'm completely honest, I feel apart from the Mura game, today's game and Wednesday's game, against Chelsea, I think that the Wednesday's game against Chelsea was a huge sort of shock for Antonio Conte and us Spurs fans, because we felt that we were progressing, and then again we just didn't show up at Stamford Bridge.
But you see, I see all of those results under Conte as a positive, and the reason being is that it showed him who he can count on and who he can't. You know, in that Mura game and in today's game against Morecambe, the B team did not show up, and then with the A team versus Chelsea midweek, it just showed us how far away we are level wise. Which again, even though we lost, it's a positive, because he can then go, look, this is where we are. This is where we're at. This is what's happening. So this is what we need to raise these levels. So I take all of those poor results as a positive for Conte to learn about our squad and to learn about who's there. For Levy and Joe Lewis to see how far we are behind with a serial winner in charge, with a serial winner in charge, to show him how far we are behind, even if we do have our first team up against Chelsea, and Chelsea, they spend well, they spend a lot, they're well drilled, they've got a world-class coach, they've won the Champions League, which in itself, mentality-wise, and we've been speaking about mentality in the Spurs squad, mentality-wise is going to push them an extra 10%, so that when they need to pull it out the bag, they know that they can. So, this is why the next game against Chelsea is really important, because I want to see from that first team that turn up how they react, how they go up against Chelsea now, knowing where we are, especially with Conte in charge, knowing where we are. What are you going to bring to the table? And even if we're not, because I never back them to lose, but even if we do, I need to see everybody leaving everything on that pitch. I need to see a couple of yellow cards at least on that pitch. I need to see effort. I need to see want. I need to see desire. I need to see everything you can bring to the table as a professional player with a bit of pride and love for Tottenham Hotspur. I want to see what you bring. And if we lose after bringing everything, I can accept that, bro, because we all know that we've dropped levels.
But listen, we've had opportunities for the players to bring it. We had that against Chelsea last week for them to bring it, and they didn't bring it. So what players are you expecting for them to bring it? I know I can count. I know I can count on Son. I know I can count on Mora. I know I can count on Skip and Kane. Who else can you count on that's going to bring it, like you're saying?
Well, but this is it. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see right now.
We want to see that today, and they didn't bring it. We want
to
see
that. I think, Leo, in the last 2 months under Conte, he's improved Davis dramatically. He's improved Harry Winks. He's improved a number of these players individually, and he's not turned them into world superstars in 2 months, but he has improved them game by game, week by week, and that's what I'm excited about. And when I think if we can get 1 or 2 additions in this window, and then go in the summer transfer window and spend big. It's been heavily reported that Tottenham Hotspur are going to be the leaders in the summer transfer window. Whether that's true or not is another thing. But let's hope that we do a lot of business. Ricky, let's come back to you, because Roy writes on screen now, the big problem with the EastEnders 11 is that Ricky Satnav Norwood would turn up at Everton's training ground when we were playing them at home. You're never going to live this one down, Ricky.
Is that what happened? Is that what happened?
Listen, Leo, what happened?
What happened, Leo?
Goodness,
actually, come on, Rick. You tell the story.
Oh, cheese on bread, man. Oh my gosh.
You went all the way, you went north. What?
This is what happened, Leo. This is what happened, all right?
What did you do, bro?
I'm going to tell you what I done, bro. I'm going to tell you, all right? So.
Come on, spit it out.
I'm going to the Watford game, right? I'm going to the Watford game. Now, I'm going to the Watford game, bro. When I look at the text and when I look at the fixtures, I'm just seeing, all right, yeah, cool. Tottenham, Watford, wicked. And in my head and in my heart, I know where Tottenham is. I know how to get there. I know how to get there by train. I know what's going on. I make my way there, bro. I get to Liverpool Street. Liverpool Street, you normally see home and away fans there. I did not see none of them. I'm like, what's going on here? I look up at the board. The trains are every half an hour. I'm like, what's going on here? Jump on the train, get to Tottenham. I'm walking up to the stadium. The stadium looks like the lights are off. It looks like it's shut. I'm like, is there even a game today? I check again on Sky Sports, bruv. I check again. I'm like, yeah. What for the play in Tottenham? All right, cool, fine, cool. And I'm supposed to be meeting Chris. I jump into the Spurs shop, right? I'm like, cool, I'll wait for Chris around the Spurs shop. Cool. Go into the Spurs shop. Not too many fans. There are fans in there, but not too many. I'm like, even this is quiet. What's going on? How early am I? Right? Walk around the shop, diddle daddle. Get to the end, I buy a couple of knickknacks. I'm chatting to the staff. I get a call from Chris. Chris, like, where are you, Rick? Mate, I'm just in the shop. I'm just chatting to a couple of the staff. And they were lovely as well, yeah? Like, we had a quick little giggle, wicked. Bruv, I stepped outside. I'm like, I'm looking for Chris. He said he's across the road from the shop. I'm looking for Chris. I can't see him, bruv. You know, what's going on here? I give him a call. I'm like, Chris, what's going on, bruv? You all right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, where are you? He's like, oh, yeah. I'm just by the pub across the road from the shop. At Vicarage Road. And I was like, what, bro? What did you say? And he was like, yeah, I'm at Vicarage Road. And it was only at that point, even though I had 25 red flags, that I realized that I've gone home when it's an away game, bruv. It was an away game. But please forgive me, it was New Year's Day. I'm not saying that I was champagne New Year's Eve, but I was. And my heart just took me to Tottenham, man. It just took me.
So what did you?
That's why they're getting me.
Yeah, you deserve it. Did you watch it in what? Did you watch it in the pub? You could have obviously missed the game.
What can you say to that, Leo? What can you say?
Mate, honestly, what I can say, he obviously had a great New Year's Eve. That's what it was. That's the only thing. So he had a great time. That's the only explanation we could have.
Bro,
Man,
yeah, let's come to you. Let's talk about the goals. Of course, Harry Winks got Tottenham's goal. He has come out and said this one he meant. He placed the ball down, and we haven't even spoken about free kicks yet. Giovanni Lo Celso has taken a few free kicks. I thought they were very poor today, but this one, Harry Winks was on it, blasted it straight into the net. 1-1. What did you make of Harry Winks' goal?
Well, whether he meant it, I don't know. I doubt if he meant it, but
He did.
Okay, well, I'll take it that then he did good. The thing about Harry Winks, he's been playing really well recently. He's been more direct. He's pinging balls in, especially when Kane and Moura came on. He was firing them in. He was crossing them in. He was taking shots. He looked like he wanted to play. If he said that he scored the goal purposely, then what can I say? He took it. He did celebrate, and that's like I said to you, Chris, before. When he scored the goal, he didn't run off like started doing all this stupid dance, like you would expect from someone like Dele Alli and stuff like that.
I thought you'd be really up for the dancing.
No, I hate that. Listen, I'm gonna sound like
how can a musician not be up for the dancing and the celebrating?
I hate it. Let me tell you something. I hate it when football players celebrate a goal. I hate it. I think you're not serious. The game is won, and you're there on your knees. Oi, you're doing all this. The game is not won, and you need to be like, come on, yes, it's 1-0. Come on, let's get back to the middle. Come on, let's go again. Turn and face. Let's have it. But you're there celebrating, doing stupid dances like that, and at the end of the game, you lose 3-1. So what was all that dancing for? what was all that messing around? So when Winks scored the goal, you saw him. The ball went in, and he was like, "Yeah, let's get back and let's do it. Let's win this game." And I love that attitude. This is when it's like Højbjerg. Højbjerg, the game is not over. We're at war. I want players that are at war. You won't see Roy Keane on his knees, doing stupid dance, doing all of this business, doing all of that nonsense. That means your head is not in the game, okay? And that's why I hate it. If I was, if you celebrate, you're getting subbed. I don't care. You're getting subbed. What's this tick? What's all of this? What's all that? Do it,
Ricky. He's got some moves, isn't he, old Leo?
Yeah,
he's got some moves, man.
Yeah, I got moves. But all of that, do it when you 4-1 up. Yeah, don't mind. Do the running man, do the bowl goal, do what you want to do. 4-1 up, do it. But not 1-0. Don't do it on an equalizer. Don't even do it at 2-1. 4-1, enjoy yourself. You know, so yeah, Winks, he had a great game. You said that he got man of the match. I think he deserved it. He looks like he wants to play for Spurs. He's the one out of most of all the players that's actually stepped up when Conte said he wants players to step up. Him, Simon Davies as well, he stepped up. And so
Simon Davies.
Sorry.
Simon Davies, Chris.
Was it Simon Davies?
Ben Davis.
See, I don't really know.
Simon Davies was back in the day, bro. Back in the day, Simon Davies.
You know, him, the Davies guy. So yeah, So I thought the goal was a good goal. I didn't think he meant it. I thought he meant the cross. But if he said that he meant to score it, then what can I say? You know, it was a good goal. We needed the goal, and he stepped up.
Ricky, let's come to you. I was going to let that one go, by the way, Ricky. It's unfair of you to bring that one up.
Everyone's getting me for sat nav.
He's trying to bring me into the Wasteman cruise. Fine.
We need a bit more dancing, I think, Leo.
Yeah, no, I got that. I'm a Spurs fan, but sometimes I forget players' names because they upset me so much.
Yeah,
I know how you feel. Well, it could be worse. You could forget what ground you're going to. Yeah, that is a lot worse. Ricky, let's come to you. 5 minutes from time. 5 minutes from time, I'm thinking I do not want to be sitting here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium watching extra time. Tottenham Hotspur against Morecambe. No way. 5 minutes from time, Lucas Moura won the ball back on the halfway line, ran through, took it past the goalkeeper. Job done. And, it sort of underlined the fact that we did need the big guns on. And then, of course, 3 minutes later, 2 minutes from time, Harry Kane makes it 3-1. If it wasn't for Lucas Moura and Harry Kane coming on, we'd have probably been in trouble.
Yeah, we probably would have. We probably would have gone extra time, and we can't afford extra time right now. The games are coming thick and fast. We need to get these games, done and dusted as quickly as possible. I text you during the game, Chris, kind of saying that I didn't really want to see Harry Kane, Leo was saying. I didn't really want us to bring on the big guns.
It's embarrassing.
I would have liked to see, Dane did come on, but I would have liked, if there was a sub to come on, I would have liked Dane to come on. But I knew that was never happening until we was at least 2-0 up. And that wasn't going to happen at that point, So, but again, if you look at the level of quality that Lucas and Harry and Skippy brought, and do you know what I mean? And Emerson on the right, it was just, it was so nice to see. It was just so nice to see, because we'd been waiting for that piece of kind of skill and kind of that directness and that kind of will and want to score and win the whole game. So to have them come on and do it within minutes, it was lovely to see, but again, embarrassing that they had to come on and do the damn thing.
Well, I don't know whether you both noticed, but both Tottenham's second and third goals were won, or scored by us winning the ball back. Lucas Moura tackling the Morecambe player on the halfway line, and then for Harry Kane's goal, Emerson Royale actually won the ball back from the Morecambe defender, passed it to Lo Celso, and then gave it to Kane, and then he put it in the net. So, the pressing and the tackling actually won us the game today.
But it shows you how much those other players were not doing that job.
Yeah.
They weren't even doing that job. Those that were on the field at the time.
It's the basics. Yeah. It's the basics. And it must be embarrassing. Think about it, as a footballer, you get subbed off, your replacement comes on and bangs and scores.
Yeah.
How do you feel? It's embarrassing. I would be embarrassed. Right? I'll be ashamed I can't knock tomorrow and say, hey, you need to put me in the team. Look at my performance yesterday. It was dead, but you need to put me in the team, because everyone is seeing Conte has given everyone rope to hang themselves, and like Ricky said, it was a huge improvement with 3 players. So let's just hope if we add another 3 players to the team with signings, possibly 4, where that could take us as a whole squad, because the team started functioning properly. We started to play, we started to pass, we were aggressive, we were, we wanted, and Moura for me is one of my favorite players. He has his attitude to the game, his aggression, and no one gives him credit for the fact that he's got a good head on him. He leaps well. He jumps really high, and he wants to win. He's passionate. He's a top professional player, and I love him. I think he's one of the most underrated players that we have.
And he doesn't sulk either, does he?
Doesn't sulk.
No.
He doesn't. When he's out of the team, he kind of gets on with it, and then when he comes back in, he always makes an impact. So yeah, go on. Sorry, Chris.
Just before we talk about the January transfer window, and just talk about the next couple of games that Spurs have got, the 4th round draw has obviously taken place. We've been drawn Brighton at home the weekend of the 4th of Feb. Are you both happy with that draw?
I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
They're a good footballing side, but I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah,
I think we have to win it. We should win it. There's no excuse. Whether Conte decides to play such a B team or give players another chance again, it's, I don't know whether he'll do that. I think, hopefully...
We'll have all the new signings by then, Leo.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Hopefully we have a new signing. Whenever I listen to Conte now, I might as well do Conte's press conference, because he's going to say, we need to improve. He's going to say that. He's going to say, the final pass. He's going to say that. He's going to say, there's lots of things that Conte said that, that we as fans know is the problem. Conte has been very honest, and he's one of a few managers that literally has said, we're not good enough. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
And so we got to respect that. And so, yeah, hopefully, by then we should have new players. We have to win that game. I believe we'll win that game. And yeah, whether we win the FA Cup or not, I don't know. But
I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to ask the question. I'm not even going there.
Well, you want to, Chris. I can tell you want to.
No, not today. Not today. Not today. Do you know what? As I said earlier, I met Antonio Conte earlier, and I just so wanted to say, Antonio, the trophies are coming. And I just thought, I can't do that. Not today. Not after nearly being knocked out against Morecambe. I can't be doing that today. Ricky, let's talk about the January transfer window. Of course, today is the 9th of January. We're a third of the way in now of the January transfer window. No players in the door yet. No players out the door yet. David writes on screen, we've been restructuring since Pochettino left, no closer to signing the quality players that we need. It also then goes on to say, guys, we were happy and confident when we got Jose Mourinho. What do you two expect to happen in this January transfer window? And if I was to ask you, who would you be surprised in this current Tottenham Hotspur squad if they are still a Tottenham Hotspur player on the 1st of Feb?
Ndombele.
Doherty.
Fuck me! I forgot about him. No, hold on 1 second. Rewind. How the hell have we been talking about Ndombele when we haven't even mentioned Doherty? Jesus, can I swear? Jesus effing Christ. I've been here abusing Delhi. I've been abusing Sanchez. I've been abusing Ndombele. And I forgot about this guy, Doherty. Oh my Lord. I need to drink some wine right now. Are you crazy? I forgot about him. What?
So you'll be surprised then, Leo, if he's still a Spurs player come the 1st of Feb.
Listen. Oh my God. I think Doherty is a plant. Because I remember when he signed for Spurs. they did like a funny thing where he was an Arsenal fan, right? And then he deleted some tweets. Yeah. Arsenal think they're smart. Doherty, you know when we spoke, Ricky said we don't know who this guy is. His mom doesn't even know who he is. No one knows who this guy. I don't even know what this guy does on the pitch. Why did we sign this? What? What? As a player, how do you feel to come into training knowing that you're a waste man in your soul? When you're seeing other players, I can't believe I've not spoken about him. Doherty should be out. He should be the first one out of the door. At least Sanchez is trying. Whether he has the ability to be in the Spurs A team when we make all these signings, I don't know. But at least he's trying. At least Dyer's trying. At least Winks is trying. Forget Ndombele. I would rather have Dele Alli playing than Doherty. Doherty, for me, should be, I would say second. Ndombele first out. Doherty, absolute. Doherty, they need to be walking hand in hand out of Spurs like they were getting married. They need to be like, oh, we're shit, and you know we're shit. Let's just fuck off out this club together. That's how they need to go.
But do you know why you didn't mention him, Leo? It's because you forgot he was there.
I didn't even know he played today.
But this is what happens with him, bro. This is what happened. It's like, you know, we was all hoping that he would give us something when he signed, and he hasn't given us anything. So when he does play, we, like us as fans, we almost put him to the back of our mind because we don't expect anything from him.
I don't know what he's done.
He ain't done nothing. The best thing that he's done is delete those tweets, bro. That's the best thing that he's done.
And as much as people wanted, you know, Serge Aurier, he was a bit of a calamity. When we signed him, I said, this guy's going to get us penalties. He's going to give penalties. But at least we knew that he was powerful. He had pace. He gave us assists. He scored goals. He contributed. I don't know what Doherty does. Whenever, you know, as a football fan, whenever you see a player, you know, nothing's going to come out of this. It's not going to come out of this. And whenever Doherty's on the ball, that's how I feel. You pass the ball to Doherty, I know the cross is going to be dead. I know he's not going to beat a man. I know he's probably not even going to pass it to our player. I just give up already. I'm like, okay, there's a counter attack.
Is it not surprising though, Leo? Because he's actually played in this system before, and as Ricky rightly said at the start of this video, you know, Emerson Royale, he's playing in a brand new system. So of course you can cut him some slack and say, okay, he's playing in a new system, give him a little bit of time. But Matt Doherty is very used to playing in this system.
Yeah, but like I said, and let me look at the camera again, like I'm the president of the United States.
Jeez.
We have waste players, Spurs fans. We have bums for players. Look at here. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. You need to know the truth. Have faith in the fact that we have Conte. Be humble and have faith in that. But let's accept what the truth is. We have bum players. Okay? We have bum players. And now is an opportunity for us to humble ourselves as fans and accept the fact that it's going to take time for us to make the transition from what we are now to be able to challenge. And we have to get rid of these waste man players who clearly do not know how to play football. They're not footballers. They don't have the mentality to play football. They don't have the physical ability to play football. No matter the fact that you see them in a Spurs shirt, we presume that they can play football, but they can't. Let's accept that. And Doherty is one of them. And we have at least 5 or 6 players in the first team that can't play football, and they do not deserve to be in that first team. They are B team or even C team Spurs players. These players should be on loan. And I'm not lying, Chris, Ricky, I'm not lying. Let me ask you a question. Would Doherty, tell me a top 7, would Doherty get into Arsenal? Would Doherty get into Chelsea? Would Doherty get into Leicester? Would Doherty get in? I'm listing teams. Would Doherty get into West Ham?
He wouldn't even get into Brighton, Watford, Newcastle. He wouldn't get into
Norwich.
any of those teams. Bro.
I don't think he wouldn't even get into Norwich.
He wouldn't get into Morecambe's team.
Listen,
he wouldn't get into Morecambe's team.
Doherty wouldn't even get into Yates, right? He wouldn't get. Trust me, they'll be asking for ID. How old are you, bruv? Nah, you can't come in.
Leo, you're on fire today. Listen,
I'm telling you, like, I can't believe I forgot about him. No, list the players. What would Arsenal sign Sanchez? We got to ask ourselves these real questions. All the players would Rodon, would he get into the top 16? Would he get into the top 17 in the Premiership? No, but we have him. But we expect these players, we expect to be top 4, but we don't have players that even the top 5 would sign. Am I lying, Chris? Talk to me.
No, I know. I understand. A comment has just come in saying, well, he's a Republic of Ireland international. But, you know, as Roy Keane says, you know, a lot of players can be internationals if they just trap a ball these days. It's not like the old days.
Yeah.
Ricky, let's come back to you now. Another comment here from Roy for you.
Roy.
Ricky had one of those exercise bikes for Christmas. The first time he used it, he got lost. Love it.
Ricky, you're getting me abused today. What's going on?
They're getting me. They're getting me today. Oh my gosh.
Rick, 3 weeks left of this January transfer window.
Yeah.
Can you actually see the business getting done?
Yeah, you know what? Yes, I can. And you know, I know there's and me included. There was a lot of us that were kind of apprehensive about Adama Traore coming to the club. A lot of people will talk about his end product. A lot of people will talk about his assists and stuff like that, etc. But let's look at what he can bring. He can bring speed. He can bring a lot of power. He can bring a lot of chaos. So that can create space for the rest of our guys that want to be skillful or want to, you know, be kind of technical in those final third areas. Under Conte, I think if Conte gets hold of Adama and gets the best out of him, I think he could be a fan favorite. You know, it could switch from being somebody that we didn't really want in the squad to being a fan favorite. Also remember that Carl Walker is our bar when it comes down to right backs. And he had all the pace and he had some trickery. But he, you know, one of the criticisms, especially in the early days at Tottenham, was his defending, the defending side of it. So, you know, it took him a little while. It took a good manager to get hold of him and get the best out of him, which happened. So maybe if Adama does sign for Tottenham, maybe Conte could get the best out of him. And if he wants to come and if he wants to play under Antonio Conte, then he's gonna burst out of the shirt wanting to play for him. He's gonna run through 18 brick walls wanting to play for him. So it could be an exciting time. We know about the areas that we need to kind of bring in and kind of get additions in, but I got faith in Conte and Paratici to make it happen. If we can't make it happen in January, I would love to, at a minimum 2. But if we can't make it happen in January, then let's make it happen in the summer. Let's get a couple of these frees signed up, whether that's Kessie, whether that's Dybala. Dybala's a free, and I can't believe there's been no real kind of rumors or kind of. Next time you speak to Romano, Chris, you got to ask him about Dybala for me, just so that I can figure it out for myself. But yeah, there's players on that free list that we can easily sign up. Paratici loves a free signing, so let's let him go to work and let's get these new players in.
Ricky, just very quickly on that, Fabrizio Romano, when I spoke to him last week, all of these names that we have been linked with, I put to him saying, "Are we signing them players in the January transfer window?" He said no to all of them.
Well, but yeah, but that might have been at the time. The one thing that we do know is Paratici will put out, you know, he'll go for like 10 different players, and then the one that he wants will emerge. So that might have been at the time, bro. But we know that money talks in the January transfer window. So let's try and get a deal done. Try and get some deals done. I'm sure they've got a plan.
I hope you had a safe trip back to Morecambe today.
Craig, come on, Craig, do me a favor, bruv. Come on, Craig.
Leo, Adama Traore, yes or no?
I would say yes, but really and truly it's a no. But the reason why I say yes is because it's January, and literally he's gonna at least give us something more than what we have. And I think maybe the fact that we're signing him is kind of like a stopgap to help us do a little bit better this season. And obviously, if Conte stays longer throughout summer, he's going to improve the team even more. We need players. In January window, you're not going to get the best players. In January window, you're not going to get the right deals. But we have to sign something. We have to improve the team. And like I told you, my mum would give a better performance than what Doherty's doing. You know, so anyone but Doherty, I agree. Sessegnon is not cutting it. So we need to improve. We can improve on that side. There's lots of players that we can improve slightly in the January window, and if we can do that, we should do that. So yes, for Traore, because we know what he brings. He brings strength. He brings pace. He draws players to him. He can carry the ball to the opposition, to the other side. So we know what he can do. The way he does us whenever we play him, we know what he brings. So yes, I would say sign him. I don't think Traore is the answer for Conte overall, but I do think that he is the answer for this season and for this circumstance.
Ricky, what about you? Traore, are you a fan? Will it? And if he did come in, will it be as a right wing back to replace Emerson Royale or a different position?
I think it's definitely right wing back or to cover the right wing. Yeah, so, for instance, if we take Lucas off or if we get an injury out there, he definitely can be an impact player. For me, when it comes down to Adama, originally I wasn't really on board in the summer, but now that we're under Conte, if Conte wants him, then I want him, because that means that Conte's got a plan for him. He's got an understanding of what positions and what chaos he can create when he's there. So again, if Conte wants him, then I want him. If Conte trusts him, then I trust him. The same way Conte trusts Winks, I now trust Winks. Do you know what I mean? So the same way. If he wants him and he believes that he can have an effect on this side, then I want him.
Put it this way: if Nuno said he wanted Traore, I'd be like, "This is the worst signing ever."
Yeah.
But we did, Leo. We did want Traore in the summer.
Well, this is it. That's why, again, the thing about Traore is his end product for me. Like, he's got pace, he's got strength, he bullies, he draws players in. It's just the end product. He gets to those good situations, and can he give the final ball? And I know Conte has been talking about that all the time, about, we get into good positions, but it's the final ball. So it kind of surprises me that he's looking to sign another player who does all the great work, get in there, but the final ball is dead. So like Ricky said, because it's Conte, because Conte has sanctioned it or agrees with it, then I have to agree with it. Because Conte is a what, Ricky?
Serial winner.
Right. So because of that, we have to have faith. We have to have faith in him, So whatever Conte says, who am I to say no? Who am I? Who are we? That's it.
Well, this next week is going to be absolutely huge, because semi-final second leg on Wednesday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Chelsea. And then, of course, next Sunday, North London derby at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A huge week in the life of a Tottenham Hotspur fan, Antonio Conte, and everyone connected to the club. Last question for you both. Ricky, do you think that Tottenham can turn this tie around? Of course, we lost 2-0. Me personally, I feel that scoreline flattered us. It should have probably been more. Chelsea were pretty hot on Wednesday evening. Can Tottenham Hotspur turn this around? And how are you feeling about going into the North London derby, particularly after everything that we have discussed on this stream? Some players taking opportunities, some players being improved under Conte in the last couple of months, some players not taking opportunities. How are you feeling about this next 7 days?
Well, in the Chelsea game, I have faith, bro. I have faith. I think we can bring it back. You will never hear me say or back Tottenham to lose, bro. I can't. And I'll look at Liverpool. They were 4-0 down at the Bernabeu, and then they came back. Do you know what I mean? At Anfield. And I know we're not Liverpool, but these things have happened. We have beaten Chelsea in the semi-final before. I think it was 5-1. So, look, I think we can do it. I think the fact that Chelsea didn't score their third and their fourth and their fifth, which they could have, the chances were there. You know, their opportunities were there for them to kind of kill this tie dead. The fact that they didn't gives us an opportunity, and it's all about who turns up on the day and how much fight they bring to the table and how much they want to win, how much they want to get to a final. Let's see if Harry Kane, speaking about finals and stuff like that, let's see how, you know, revved up and how ferocious Harry Kane is on the day versus Chelsea. When it comes down to the Gooners, bro, you know what? After that Nuno game, and I think it was a couple of games after that I was in the stadium with you, Chris, or it might have been a few games before that, the Gooner game again.
You got there.
With Nuno. You need to stop. I know my way to Tottenham, all right? Anywhere else, I've got to look it up. But on the way to Tottenham, I know. Inside, I could do it with my eyes shut. But I said then that, you know, that was atrocious. It was an atrocious showing. The fact that we had no midfield, the gaps that Jamie Carragher drew on the screen that we left open for the Gooners to exploit were horrendous. Now, that is not going to happen. I know that much. That is not going to happen versus the Gooners. So, again, I expect big battles. It's a battle week. Like Leo said earlier, this is war. We are going to war this week. You know what I mean? And there are things on the line. There are sufficient things on the line. If and when we beat the Gooners, you know, that helps us in the league with our games in hand, but also because they're above us. So that's going to help us tremendously. If they want to get to a final and they want to show what they're about under Conte and they want to be serial winners, then they've got to show up on Wednesday and do the damn job. But like I said to you, if they put everything out on Wednesday, everything out and leave everything on the field, their passion, their heart, their energy, their legs, their everything, and we still end up losing, I can accept that, bro. I can accept that. But I ain't accepting no loss against the Gooners, let me tell you that. Not going to happen. Not happening. Not happening. They've got to show up and they've got to turn up and they've got to show us what they're about, especially against them lot. Ricky, what score prediction are you going with for both matches? Chelsea, I'm gonna go. It's one of two that's in my head, all right? There's either 4-0, which is unrealistic, I know, but 4-0 is there, or it's gonna be 2-2 extra time, which it won't be extra time, it'll be straight to penalties and then we'll win on penalties. So it's either gonna be 4-0 or 2-2, and then we win on penalties. And then the Gooners, I'm seeing a 3-1. I'm feeling a 3-1 against the Gooners, and for us to score those three.
So you think it's going to be a very good week for us? Yeah.
I think we're going to be it's going to be party time by the end of the week. But we're not going to be celebrating like Leo said, because the job ain't done. The job ain't done. We won't be going crazy, but because the job ain't done. We ain't got to the final yet, and it ain't the end of the season yet. But yeah, man, I think we're going to have a good week. I think we're going to have a good reaction with these players.
Leo, I want to agree with Ricky. I really, really do. I want to be really optimistic about this next week. But of course, us Tottenham fans, we worry about these games anyway. Chelsea are on fire. You know, they've got strength in depth throughout the whole of their squad. Do you see us going through to the Carabao Cup final against either Arsenal or Liverpool?
Okay, let me look into the camera again and speak to the Spurs fans. We're losing against Chelsea. Okay? Let's I watched some of these shows, right? And the host asks the guests, what do you think is going to happen at this game? And every time the guests say, oh, we're going to win. Yeah. And as a fan, I watch it and it makes me feel good. It makes me have hope, right? And sometimes a lot of the guests might think, oh, no, it might be a draw. But let me look at the camera. Chelsea are going to beat us. That's it. So let's accept that. I'm already feeling the pain already, because obviously I don't want that to happen. But this is what it is. And
Leo, are you saying that Ricky's lying to me? Do you think that he doesn't really feel like that?
Listen, we need to now begin the healing process on the Sunday, so that when we go into the game, we're prepared. right? And if listen, I'm not saying that we can't win. I'm not saying that we can't do it 3-0, 4-0, 4-1. I'm not saying we can't do that. But I just want us to be realistic, guys, here. We're 2-0 down. Yes, we've got the positive that we're at home at the Lane. And it's 2-0 is not a devastating. If we score early, let's rewind. If we can score early within the first 10, 15 minutes, then we're back in the game.
Yeah.
Okay? We're back in the game because then it's like we have that hunger. The game, the momentum is on our side. If it's 2-0 and it's half time, what can I say? If they score in the first half, what can I say? If it's 1-1 in the first half, what can we say? We literally need to be 1-0 first 10 minutes, then boy, I'm on it. I'm with you, Chris. I'm with you, Ricky. I'll be there saying we can do this. But like I said, and I'm going to look right into the camera, guys. You see my big eyes. You know, my mom used to say that my eyes were like saucers, you know. My mom says I've got big eyes, and I do have big eyes. So let me look right into the Spurs fans and say, guys, it's Sunday. Let's take a deep breath and humble ourselves and accept the fact that there's a high probability, 80% chance that we're going to lose against Chelsea and we're going to be out of this cup. And let's learn to live with that and put ourselves in a position whereas if things do change, we can enjoy it, we can feel great, and we can be proud to be Spurs fans, and it'll be such a great comeback, and we can look over at Stamford Bridge and say, oh, you mother effers, we got you, and it's bragging rights, and it gives us so much pleasure, you know? So let's have that hope. As far as Arsenal is concerned, we have to win that game. I want us to win that game, because I'm not going to have it if Spurs don't come up against Arsenal. The pain that I felt when we lost against Arsenal last season burnt my spirit, burnt my absolute soul. I have Arsenal fans who tweet me, even when they're not playing, to give me abuse. They tweet me, even when Spurs are not playing, to abuse me. So we have to beat Arsenal at all absolute cost. Arsenal are scumbags, and I'm so happy that they lost today. You know when you drink like honey, and it just, your whole spirit is just like, you know, it's like a warm hug. When Nottingham Forest scored today, it was like Santa Claus was hugging me and said, you've been a good boy, Leo, all year. I know I didn't give you a Christmas gift this today, but I'm going to get on the reindeer and I'm going to come and bring you some more gifts, because that's how I felt. So that's my prediction, Chris. I know something that you don't want to hear. I know probably if you ask someone else, they'll probably say, yeah, we can win it 2-1. But I want to just make the Spurs fans humble and not have Spurs fan goggles. Let's humble ourselves and let's ask the real questions. Do we really see us turn it around, tune it up?
Leo, do you feel that Ricky and I have Spurs fan goggles on a lot?
Yeah, listen, I think you have contact lenses on. I don't think you have the full goggles, but I think you have the contact lenses. A little piece, you know. But
Ricky,
yeah,
can you imagine this stream if Ramon Vega was on with this as well?
Oh my gosh! Oh my, we've got to make that happen. We've got to make that happen. Oh my, look, he's even got the vino, Chris.
Man, listen,
I know.
This is what Spurs are doing to me. This is what Spurs are doing to me. Another, you know, when you were talking, I was literally.
He's on.
I was literally. Is this live? Is this live or it's pre-recorded?
It's live. It's live.
I was literally on Just Eat ordering a Chinese right now because, you know, I was literally ordering spare ribs, Singapore fried rice, roast duck with new Shanghai. You know, my Chinese have got a new Shanghai style hot roast duck. I'm ordering that right now.
That's fine, Leo, because last week Ricky had an Amazon delivery, so you know we get them all. We get them all. Well, can't thank you both enough for your time because you know, we've been talking for nearly 2 hours 10 minutes, and I think I could talk to you two all night about Tottenham because I feel like there's so much that we didn't cover. But you know, both of you are very welcome back on this channel. You know, whenever you have time. Ricky, thanks so much for your time this evening, and you know, tell everyone about your latest film and what you're up to at the moment.
Oh, okay. I mean, yes, we're past Christmas, but that doesn't matter. The film is called The Princess Switch 3. It's out on Netflix right now. It's starring Vanessa Hudgens, and there's a whole kind of heist in it. There's Christmas themed around it, but there's a whole heist scenario going on. So it's exciting, it's fun, it's an enjoyable family film. So if you want to go catch that, it's out on Netflix right now. But Chris, thank you always for having me on. It's been such a giggle tonight. It's been such a pleasure to be on with Leo as well, my boy.
Oh, likewise, Ricky.
Bruv, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure. And I don't know if I've giggled as much as I have today, bruv. And all the fans that are getting me on SatNav, listen, that was last week, all right? Let's keep it moving forward now, all right, guys?
No, we definitely need to keep talking about this subject because, you know, the word is spreading that you don't know where you're going and you need a sat-nav.
You don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going.
If anyone wants to buy Ricky a sat-nav, you can send it, I'm sure, care of the East End of the studio. And he'll get it. He'll get it. Leo, thanks so much for your time this evening. You've been an absolutely fantastic guest. You've had so much love in all of the comments this evening.
Thank you, Chris, for having me. But, you know, I want to say one last thing, you know, because a lot of people think Leo's a downer. But I'm a true Spurs fan because I have a son, and I created a son for Spurs, right? It's his birthday tomorrow. His name is Hero. And listen, Chris, this is an exclusive because in probably about 10 or 15 years' time, we're going to be able to come back to this thing where I say that I created a striker or a midfielder to bring glory to Spurs. His name is Hero, right? And so it's his birthday tomorrow. So I would really appreciate it if we could just quickly sing a happy birthday to Hero, okay, for him. And he's probably going to, he's only 2. He's probably going to appreciate this when he's like much older, when he's wearing his Spurs shirt. So if everyone at home, smash a like on the chat right now, please, because we only got 448. Come on, there's 5. Come on, let's get it to 500. And after 3, we just sing happy birthday for Hero. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
This is terrible on the stream.
Happy birthday, Hero.
Happy birthday to you.
Let's never sing on this show again. Let's never sing on this show again.
Listen, this is the new group. This is, I was going to call it Blue, but we're Blues. This is what we are.
Oh, goodness. We're going to be rivals standing in Costa and the Blues.
Listen, they're not ready for us. We should go on Britain's Got Talent. What are you saying?
Hey, yo.
Good grief. I think my sat-nav will go missing that day. Leo, tell everyone what you're up to at the moment.
Listen, right now it's all about my little boy. I'm going up to see him. He's up in Cheshire, so I'm going up to see him tomorrow. I've bought him a tuxedo. I'm going to be wearing a tuxedo. I buy him a tuxedo. So I buy him a tuxedo. Every birthday I've decided I'm going to buy him a tuxedo. So this week is all about him. Him and I, we're going out for dinner. We're going trampolining. We're going to dress up in our tuxedos. Mum's coming. She's mad about me because she thinks I'm crazy, but she doesn't. Ricky, they don't understand that this is what we do, right? We're not really normal, right? We do crazy things, right?
We're creatives, bro. We're creatives. This is what creative.
So yeah, it's not about. This week is about my son, Hero.
Oh, happy birthday to Hero, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and you know, it'll be fantastic. Well, Ricky, Leo, thank you so much for your time. I can't believe, as I say, we've been talking for nearly 2 hours, 15 minutes. So thank you so much for all your time. And thanks to everybody for watching this evening's stream. Thank you for all of the comments and all of the support on the channel. And, you know, have a nice glass of wine, Leo. let's hope that it is a fantastic week coming up for Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, we may get a signing or two. You never ever know. A player or two might leave as well in this January transfer window. But let's hope and pray that we get the win against Chelsea on Wednesday night, and of course get the win on Sunday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against our North London rivals Arsenal. Fingers crossed. Thanks for watching, everyone. Come on, you Spurs.
My delivery's here. Mohammed is here. Look, Mohammed